going, "Hey, girl. Hey, you fucking bitch. Hey." Dear listeners.
What just happened there? Why am I there?
I have a picture. Maim and I are talking right now, and I have a picture of the cosmos behind me. And she said, "So glad that you could take a picture of your rectum for us."
I thought that was science.
Speaking of science, I was reading Facebook, as one does.
You do.
I was looking at comments on the Statesville Record Landmarks.
Oh, no.
Posting.
Jeez, no, please don't do that.
And so I found somebody on there that was like commenting all this kind of stuff. And so I looked at his profile. He had a picture of a little duck that said, "Be kind to all creatures that live." And you scroll down a little bit farther, and there was a thing about gays being pedophiles.
Okay.
We are from a special place, girl. We are from a special place.
Like I don't understand. I don't understand.
Yes, you do. Yes.
I mean, I do and I don't. Like I understand, but at the same time, I'm like,
oh God.
It's just very strange to me. It's I don't get how we come from this place that is so like, you know how it is. You know what the perception is. It's like, oh, you come from that part of the South where everybody's nice and everyone's genteel and they all so polite and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, but, they are still racist, sexist, homophobic, and, misogynistic.
So while I was at the Cherokee Casino.
Which, oh, by the way, this is side note. My husband had no idea about anything Cherokee.
Wait, what?
Like nothing. Like he didn't know about the
trail.
He didn't know about the reservation.
Tears?
He didn't know about the reservation. He didn't know about the casinos that are there now. He didn't do. And then I was like, how is this? Where did you think I was going when I was telling you about going to powwows as a kid? Like, where did you think I was going?
We have like one reservation in North Carolina. Like one major reservation in North Carolina.
Yeah. So it was just very funny. I mean, I literally was just like, you've been in my home, you've been in my parents' home, you've seen all of these pictures, and you've never thought to yourself, maybe I should ask about these at some point to get a little bit of context and background.
I've never actually made it to, and this is probably wrong of me, I've never made it to downtown Cherokee.
Lord.
I made it to the casino.
Because they ain't got no casino there, girl.
I made it to the first little, I believe it's called the Powwow Tribal Crafts.
Yeah.
I made it there because there's a cute indigenous-run coffee shop there. So I went there to they've got really good coffee.
Of course they do. Is it chicory?
No, it's not chicory. It's from Colombia. And it's indigenous grown in Colombia. Like they make sure
so their indigenous natives send it over to our indigenous natives.
Yes.
Got it.
Keeping it in the hemisphere, girl. Keeping it in the hemisphere.
I'll give you a little hint about downtown Cherokee. It's like every other downtown in North Carolina. Lot of brick.
Okay, I have two things to talk about my trip this weekend.
Please do.
Number one, I saw something I'd never seen happen at a casino before.
What?
So I was sitting there gambling, as you do. Sitting there gambling. And then this hot guy came up and he sat down. He was real drunk. He won $300, then left. I've seen that. He broke a $1,000 chip, put some money down, run $300, grabbed it all back and left. Whatever. That was not what I saw. That
everything you just said, I don't even understand what you just said.
I know. But then this guy who was a welder, apparently had a scab on his arm and scratched it and bled all over his chips. And I had no idea, and the pit boss came over, he's like, if this was the 80s, we would have had to or 90s, we would have had to sanitize those ships, destroy them, and ask him to leave, and blah, 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 blah. Luckily, It was not, but it took it was a rigmarole. It is a 10-minute thing to where they have to get the blood sanitizer out and rub all the chips down and let them set for a minute and then rub it, and all this at the table while we're just sitting there watching and all. Apparently, during COVID, they had to do that every hour.
Ooh.
Or something crazy like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's true. I didn't even think about casinos during COVID.
It didn't turn out too well, apparently.
I can't imagine why. It's not like there's a bunch of people gathered in a space together.
I know.
In close proximity.
So what happened that in Hickory, North Carolina, which for those of y'all that don't know, it's halfway between Asheville and Statesville. It's actually close to Statesville.
Two places that you might not know either.
Everybody knows Asheville, North Carolina.
Everybody does know Asheville.
Asheville, North Carolina. It's on the up and up.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I got on my way to the casino. Mm-hmm. I was looking for Bojangles, as you do. So I went to get some cash for the Wells Fargo and Statesville by the mall, and I turned right, and I was like, oh, I'll just go with the Bojangles across the street. Girl, they're doing construction and putting a median on East Broad Street where you can't turn left into the damn Bojangles. So as I was saying before Maim got cut off by the internet, I was trying to go to my Bojangles by taking a left across East Broad Street in Statesville, North Carolina.
I think what happened was that Comcast was they're working with Bojangles to prevent any sort of negative press around that company.
It's not the Bojangles, but there used to be a Blockbuster there. There used to be a Kmart across the street.
Yes.
Now I can't go to either one, but the Belk does have a now open sign in front of it in Signal Hill Mall. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, as if the bitch ever closed down. Anyway.
Oh, so what's where the Kmart used to be?
Nothing.
Oh.
There's a Food Line in the old Winn-Dixie, but not the old Winn-Dixie.
Oh boy, that town. Oof.
Anyway, so then I was like, okay, fine. I will just head out to Hickory and find myself Bojangles along the way. So I head towards Hickory. I get to the city of Conover, which is just for Hickory.
Yeah.
Newton Conover.
I know Newton Conover.
So I was like, I get off this exit ramp, and it said Bojangles, this exit. I'm like, Bojangles, this exit. And you go all the way up the exit ramp to learn that Bojangles 2.5 miles away.
That's right. Well, in Southern country life, that's spitting distance.
It's true. So I was like, I will just go across this road just to get back on the interstate. Girl, they have made this road in Conover. You can't go across. You can only go back west or east. It's a one-way thing. So I take a left. So I'm heading to this Bojangles, and there's signs for it. So I finally I go down this road a stretch. So I have to take a right, and so I go down that road a stretch, and then there it is, girl. But you know what you have to do? You have to, at the last minute, without a warning, get in the left-hand lane across 3 lanes of traffic to turn left into this parking lot that you cannot easily get to.
What?
So I was like, you know what? Bojangles, you're not for me today.
That was the Lord talking to you, by the way.
That was the Lord talking to me.
The Lord literally said, Miss Mims, I am talking to you right now, girl. You do not need to have that Bojangles in your system. If you do, you are going to choke on that spicy chicken biscuit.
So how did you know I was going to get? Anyway, so I just went to the Hickory Bread Company and got myself a croissant with some sausage on it.
Oh, someone's fancy.
And then I get up to Maggie Valley, and I go to the Dunkin' Donuts. I get myself a donut and some coffee, because they have the sour cream donuts at that Dunkin' Donuts. Those are hard to find. So anyway, on my way back, this story's going on, girl.
I love these.
On my way back, I was like, I need some gas. Well, I stopped back by the Hickory Bread Company trying for lunch. The breakfast is good. The lunch is there. Anyway, so
the lunch is there.
So I decided to go back and, I need gas. So I see a sign for gas at an exit. I'm like, I'm going to get out of Hickory. I'm going to pass Conover. Okay. I'm not even going to. Are you there again? Okay.
I'm here.
Okay. You stopped for a second, so I was worried. Anyway, so I pass Conover. I get off on this exit. Oh, girl. It's another one of those exits that you can't easily get back on the way that you were going. There's two of them, like 2 miles apart from each other, that you can't easily do it. And I had to go in 2 miles to get to the gas station. Then I have to work my way back to the interstate. Anyway, all this is to say, Hickory, fix your damn roads.
Good gracious. I mean, I appreciated that. I appreciated that word of mouth monologue. It was beautiful.
Thank you.
I think the listeners can also just sympathize and empathize with what you're going through.
Speaking of sympathizing and empathizing with what we're going through, did you know we have a Patreon?
Shut up. We do not.
Dear listeners, if you'd like to throw us some money on Patreon, we can't say that we don't have any supporters now.
Well, we have two.
We've got two. But if you would like to throw us some money, we would love to have it.
We'd love to get rid of commercials.
We would. And Maim, speaking of commercials, did you know that we have another podcast?
Oh. I was not aware of that. Can you tell me more about it?
We have a Murder, She Wrote podcast called You Slay
Wow,
Me.
that's amazing. That's one of my favorite TV shows.
Yeah, I kind of figured when you go on and on about it every week.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, every 2 weeks. Every 3 weeks. What are we at now?
I don't know.
We're trying our best.
We're trying. We're just trying. We're just two old queens that are just doing this as a hobby.
It is a hobby. It is. I got one of my old coworkers. I've switched jobs. I got one of my old coworkers listening to this podcast.
Oh,
she absolutely loves Designing Women. She's like, I just love y'all. Y'all are so funny. Like, oh no. I hope I don't hurt her poor soul at some point. But
I mean, you probably will.
I probably will.
But that's part of what we do. We hurt the souls and then we build them back up again, stronger and better.
Speaking of building souls back up, you want to get in this episode?
Let's do it.
Hold on, I lost the.
This is very
okay. Yes,
awkward linear episode.
This is season 2, episode 21. Ted Bear.
I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. And that's Marjorie. Just so you will know, and your children will someday know, is the night the lights went out in Georgia. The lights went out, the lights went out, the lights went out, the lights went out. And that is the night the lights went out in Georgia.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Well, now you do.
Gross.
So we're at Sugar Bakers. And Julia,
as you do,
it's collecting. Julia's church collects clothes for the children.
Yes,
clothes for the children. And one of the articles of clothing is this big green swimsuit.
I couldn't tell.
And there's a fat joke. There's some fat jokes. There's some fat jokes in there. We're just gonna walk past those real fast. Well, Maryjo's here, and she's late again, Maim.
This is not like her at all.
Yes, it is, because she always runs late.
I mean, this is not like her at all, unless there's something going on in her life we have to find out about.
Oh. Well, what about all the other episodes where there was nothing going on in her life that she was just running late?
She's just a terrible worker.
Well, is she a terrible mother too? Let's find out. We find out that Quentin has been cussing.
Yes. A lot.
And his friend Vinny, what kid is named Vinny, taught him all the cuss words. He says, like, where the hell is my Flintstones lunchbox?
Which I loved.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing. I started cussing.
Oh, Lord.
At a very young age. And it was during the divorce that my mother started dropping F-bombs and just looked at me and said, Mims, now fuck is okay.
I don't recall my mom ever saying that.
Well,
although, I mean, she had her moments. She did. She had her moments, but she never turned around and said, now you can do it.
Yeah, like it's a Catholics tend to cuss more than other religions for some reason. We just I've noticed that we'll let a GD slide real easy, just right out of my mouth. Yeah, it's just for some reason. I remember I was at church, and one of the Sunday school people just said, God damn it, in the parking lot of the church. And I just looked at her and she's like, what? I forgot something. This isn't out of anger. This is out of my own stupidity. God doesn't give a shit about that.
She was doing the literal. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Well, Maryjo's going to have Anthony talk to Quentin, because Quentin just loves Anthony and respects Anthony. At least somebody respects Anthony in the show.
I love that. I mean, like, it's really, I will say, of everything that happened in this one particular episode, that was probably one of the most adorable things that we've done all season.
It was.
They've never mentioned this before.
So we also found out that Vinny's been bringing pictures of naked women to school.
Boy, that reminds me of that one.
How at this age? How
he got into his dad's stuff?
How? Yeah, well, yeah, I guess
he either got into his dad's stuff, or he has an older brother and he got into his older brother's stuff.
Speaking of porn, one thing. During the divorce, my father had a bunch of first edition Hustlers hidden upstairs.
What?
We should have kept that and sold that. Like, they were mint condition first edition Hustlers. Yeah.
Man. That would have been so much money.
Yeah. We gave them back to him. Yeah. Anyway. Quentin drew a naked woman.
Oh, this was, I think, my favorite part.
It was my favorite joke. And I actually looked at the notebook he drew on. There was nothing drawn on it. Anyway, Maryjo's very impressed by what he did on the top part, but she doesn't understand the bottom part. And Charlene just looks at, well, it looks like he just sort of lost interest.
Which then I was like, uh-oh.
Likes the tits, doesn't like the bits.
Uh-oh.
Quentin is one of those gay names.
I feel like there's a fashion designer just in the wings now.
Not a fashion designer, girl.
Everybody likes to dress it up.
Well, and we also found that Claudia really likes the rock music.
Yeah, jeez, this part.
And Maryjo and Charlene bond by singing "It's My Party,"
followed by an applause break.
I know. Well, Charlene was kind of dancing.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's no, I'm not. It just was very funny to me that I was at first when it started, I was like, this is cute. This does not merit an applause break.
Maim.
Yeah.
Hold the presses.
Ooh.
Ted wants to have dinner with Maryjo.
Ted Shively.
Maryjo's ex-husband.
What? But I thought he was at that other lady.
Tammy, he still is, yes.
Remember Tammy? She was causing all the problems in the other episode.
She wasn't causing a problem at all, really. It was all Maryjo. Actually, it was all Ted. Fuck Ted.
It's always Ted.
It's always Ted. Scott Bakula, give Ted back his body.
I will say, Scott, this show, because I was a Quantum Leap nerd. This show and his portrayal of his character, it really kind of affected how I felt about him. I was like, I never thought he could be so sleazy.
So Mr. Mims did point out that Scott Bakula is a lot hotter than JD.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 80 Scott Bakula, like, oh yeah. Scott Bakula is a handsome man.
Yeah.
Like, and he's an unusually handsome man.
I don't get it. I don't see it.
In the 80s, he was.
Give me weird guy from Murder, She Wrote. The buff young one that looks like he's going to kill everybody.
Oh Lord.
Who did not kill anybody.
Oh Lord. Okay.
You know the one I'm talking about.
I know exactly who you're talking about, but you're being ridiculous right now.
Jerry Orbach, that's what I'm talking about.
He's no Bert Convy, I tell you that.
Bert Convy.
No Bert Convy.
You just let that Jerry Orbach thing just go right on by, aren't you?
We're saving that for the next podcast. Oh, a little bit of sexual tension there.
He had to work a few things out before Law and Order. And most of them were all Jamie Fletcher. What?
Yeah.
And like, so Maryjo's like, he probably just wants to ask me to serve punch at the wedding, and Charlene's like, knowing you're gonna do it.
That's right. Good gracious, what a terrible thought process, right? That I'm just trying to make my life easier and more agreeable.
So now we're at a malt shop. Did you even know that there were malt shops?
I know that I've seen them in old movies. I didn't know that they were around in the 80s.
Hold up. I just had a hankering for something I can't have anymore.
Is it something from the Woolworth counter?
It's Elliot's ice cream.
Oh, there you go.
From Elliot. Dear listeners, it's now a gas station. We used to have this retro 70s ice cream place in Statesville, North Carolina, called Elliot's Ice Cream. It was good.
It was good.
But that said, do you know what still is in existence? In Haynes Mall.
Oh, in Haynes Mall. What's still in Haynes Mall?
The Cookie House.
Is it really?
It is. It is. I was going to go there on my way back, but the mall wasn't open yet. I was going to get myself a cookie and take a picture of it with you.
That is really like, that's surprising.
Yeah, that place is good. Used to be good. I don't know if it still is.
It's probably not the same. They're cutting corners. They're cutting corners now, and the cookies are square.
The cookies were always kind of square because they kind of baked together, girl.
I know they did. Oh, that's how you know they're good. They have too much butter in them. Their chocolate chip
cookie was, oh my God.
Dear listeners, if you're ever trying to gauge cookie recipes from places, if they're a little bit misshapen, that's actually that's not bad, because that means they have too much butter in them.
That's what I say about myself too. I'm a little misshapen because I got too much butter in me.
Girl, you shape just fine, Eddie. You shape just fine. Mama loves you.
Well, Vinny has naked people in his locker, and he cusses. And
Vinny.
Quentin cussed him back. So Anthony was like, no, I don't say cuss words. I say fooey.
Fooey.
Because cussing makes you common.
Yes, that was
R&B star Common.
Oh my gosh. Jeez. Just, what? I don't know. Just that cussing makes you common thing. Oh God.
You know, there's been a lot of studies that show the more educated people cuss more.
Exactly. Right. It's actually been shown that.
Yeah.
Not to toot our own horn.
No.
our own damn horns. But, you know.
Toot toot.
Beep, beep.
Squeak, squeak. Squeak, squeak.
Oh, no. Honey, I'm lactose intolerant.
Speaking of that, we're going to dinner with Maryjo and Ted.
Yes, that's just pure intolerance, not just
Yes.
lactose.
Maryjo is complaining about Quentin being a capitalist. You know, he's dreaming. He has this idea that he wants to go on a train and with his metal detector because all the change falling out of people's pockets. Like people took trains back in the 80s. They sure didn't then. They still don't now. But you know what? Maybe it was on the MARTA. Maybe they should have rewritten this, said the MARTA.
I think that's what they meant.
Well, no, she said Amtrak.
Oh, I missed.
But
the
like
Amtrak reference.
MARTA this time only had like 3 stops.
Oh, speaking of trains, Mother Maim is coming in June, and she's taking the train.
Ooh.
Because she loves trains, apparently.
Oh, so she's gonna drive Salisbury, take the train on down.
No, girl, she gonna drive up to Raleigh because that's where my brother is, and he's gonna get her on the train, and then she's gonna come on down.
I think. Has Sherry bought the ticket?
I think so.
Okay, because I was gonna say I think the Cary one is easier to get to Florida.
It might be Cary. I just know it's somewhere in that area.
Oh well, the Greater Triangle area. Lord have mercy.
I've been hearing the word triangle so much because of that stupid NCAA that it was like it was triggering me. It's just like,
what
I'm
do
so
you
sick.
mean?
I can't. That area is ridiculous.
UNC and girl, you lived in the triad forever.
I did live in the triad forever.
It's just a Bobo triangle.
Well, I mean, yeah, I worked in the triangles, though. You know, I had my tries quartered.
You were just trying everything, weren't you?
That's right, girl. Try it all. Yeah, I'm a trisexual.
You'll try anything. That's not true. I know you too well.
Shut up. I know I'm a prude. Shut up.
To know that you will not
Leave
try.
me alone. Leave me alone. I know I'm a prude. Leave me alone.
You may tighten that chastity belt one more notch. Anyway.
I only wear that on weekends.
It's easier to tuck with it on. Anyway.
That tuck is not popping, girl.
Girl, I've got a question. Do you tuck? Or do you just wear flouncy enough dresses you don't have to worry about it?
No, it's not. Well, I don't tuck, but the reason why I don't tuck is because I wear such large lower half pads that I don't even really need to tuck because it's like, you know, between like the 3 layers of things and then my stockings.
Yeah, you won't see anything, no.
Ain't nobody gonna see none of that.
No. Do you rip a hole through your stockings to allow for the easy of the pissing? Or do you just roll down stockings real fast and go and pull it back up?
I'm a roll down girl.
Okay, I would. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Nobody's.
I know the feeling.
When you said it, I was like, I never thought about it before. And then you said, I'm like, oh, I'm a roll down girl. Okay.
Yeah, I know some people that cut a little hole right there. But girl, the problem with that little hole is you could wind up with a moose knuckle just popping out in the middle of somewhere.
Well, I mean, like, tights are not cheap. So
Thank you. That's
unless you get cheap tights.
Even the cheap tights aren't cheap.
Yeah, so I'm not voluntarily cutting those things.
You know, my Queen Helene size needs to last forever. And cutting into Queen Helene will cause them to rip. I just knocked Maim back onto the wall.
Oh no, I was not ready for that.
Well, Ted promises to quit buying Quentin presents. And then Ted starts flirting.
I'm sorry, what?
Ted's flirting.
Flirting with who? The waitress?
No, with Maryjo.
What?
He respects maturity in a lover.
Oh, he's calling her old.
Tammy is a kid who can't cook.
Oh, he's being ageist.
And he loves Maryjo's body.
Whoa.
Her butt is unequaled. Not even people in Tokyo have asses that good.
Well, she is short and petite, so I guess that's where he's going by his judgment. It's that. Wow. Actually, you know, it's funny. That is the second time that her butt has been referenced because JD also did that.
It is. It's Chekhov's butt.
I'm like, I wonder if there's any pictures of Maryjo's butt in the 80s because
you see it at the end of this episode.
Oh, yeah, it didn't really stick out to me.
No, she's a tiny little twig. Of course she doesn't have it.
I mean,
Anyway, Maryjo was like, where were you when we were married?
Cheating on you. That's
exactly right.
Which,
so now we're at Maryjo's.
Into that conversation, it would have been like, oh, okay.
And they're having a nightcap, girl.
Not a nightcap. Ooh, I'd love a nightcap right now, even though it's not late enough.
I mean, it's dark outside.
Oh, you're right. I'm going to go have a nightcap after this.
Me too, girl. Me too. I bought a bottle of wine. I got a bottle of wine because I'm taking this week off in between jobs.
Oh, Lord.
It's a bottle of white.
That's why you're so wound up. That's what it is.
I can't drink red anymore, girl.
Why is it affecting your digestive system?
It is affecting my digestive system.
Girl, you getting old.
Girl, I am getting old.
Ooh,
but it affected my digestive system back whenever I drank a bottle of white. Project Runway back in the day. Dear listeners, that was my thing. Every Thursday night, I would get a bottle of red, drink the whole thing, pour it all into one glass. I had a glass that held the whole damn thing.
My mother right now is cringing.
Drink that bottle of wine while I was watching Project Runway. And at the end of it, I generally go out to the bar. Am I a liar?
No, I didn't call you a liar. I'm just giggling. That's a lot. That's a lot.
My liver lasted, though.
I know. And somehow I made it over.
So they're talking about the time when Maryjo threw out Ted's clothes after he came home from cheating. She threw his clothes out, and his tidy whities his little jockeys got frozen onto the shrub, and yeah.
I mean, maybe it's because me and you were in committed relationships. As I was listening to it, I didn't really think it was really that funny. I was like, oh, you were so angry because your husband had been cheating on you with some nurses at his office.
Yep.
And they're like, that was so funny, right?
Having had a father that cheated. So Ted is flirting hard, and Maryjo is flirting just as hard.
She
right back.
Yeah. Oh, Maryjo.
And then Ted grabs picture JD and says, "Don't you think his ears are a little big? He looks like a young LBJ." You know what the one thing LBJ was known for?
No.
Having a massive cock.
Oh, jeez.
Like, there are stories of him bringing senators and like just pulling it out and saying, if yours as big as mine right now, you can do this. Otherwise, I need you to go get the hell out of here.
I'm sorry. Wait,
no,
what
I'm serious.
are you talking about?
I'm dead serious.
So actual comparison contest.
Massive cock.
Oh, who's not ready for this conversation tonight? Good gracious.
From New Republic. Lyndon Johnson was always eager to let those around him know he had an unusual large penis.
What?
He called his penis Jumbo.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So Jumbo and Ladybird. That's a kid's novel just waiting to happen. Children, today I'm going to read you Jumbo and Ladybird about our wonderful president, Lyndon Baines Johnson. What's
And
it
his
about,
wife,
teacher? And his
Ladybird.
wife, Ladybird. That sounds like a dog's name. Yes. That's how women were treated back then.
Oh, God.
That's a lot of information you just dropped on me.
And now you know that why JD called Ted short. It's a little joke in there. Yeah.
I mean, technically,
JD stands for Jumbo Dick Girl. Anyway, Ted kisses Maryjo. Yeah. Now we're at Sugarbakers. Maryjo thinks Ted wants to get back with her.
Well, he did kiss
the
her.
Ugliest red dress I've ever seen before in my life.
I'm not a fan of this dress at all. Like, this dress was one of her worst dresses, without question.
So Charlene was like, well, you're the one who wanted to get divorced. And she's like, well, after the brassiere and the luggage, that was enough. And he came up with the story about how it was a cloth halter case for prosthetic. And he's not even in research.
I did think this was a pretty funny one that time.
God.
Still damaging, but funny.
Yes. And Julia's like, well, he hasn't changed.
Oh, wow.
And Maryjo finally says, well, he hasn't said it, but he's called me beautiful a lot. And Suzanne was like, well, he did that when we dated too.
A lot.
They only dated for like
it was
30
literally
minutes.
It was like 2 weeks.
It was 30 minutes.
It was a 30-minute episode. It was a 30-minute episode, but it took place over 2 weeks.
They're having dinner again tonight.
Oh, this guy, he will not stop.
And Julia's like, well, maybe Tammy's infertile and he wants you to have the children for them because he's got something that big he has to tell you about tonight. And Charlene's like, Maryjo, you just sound really interested in this.
Like too interested.
And Maryjo's like, no, it just feels good to be recognized and to be seen. And Charlene's like, it's like that movie, Splinter something? Splinter in the Grass. Have you seen this movie?
Come on, of course I've seen this movie.
Is this movie good?
It is not. It's a pretty good movie. Yes.
Okay.
It is. It's a pretty good movie.
To which Julia says, Maryjo, go on with what you were saying. And then Suzanne goes on about her lying ex-husbands, how, they always want to come back, and every time they promised that they wouldn't mess up her hair, and that she'd only just have to lay there, and that they wouldn't have to do it after they got her hair done, and, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That lasts for a week, but it would never hold. Maryjo, go on with what you were saying.
I mean, technically, Charlene was like the funniest part of the whole. Yeah. That little weird story was like the funniest part of the whole thing.
Yeah. Maryjo, then there's a serious moment, and Maryjo's like, it just feels like we're going to be a family again. Yeah.
I mean, it's weird though, because I mean, the two of us, we have two very different types of family structures. And it was unusual because as I was watching her, I thought to myself, I wonder if this is that common or uncommon when people kind of get back together, or if that's a thing. Like, because I don't really know a lot of like, even like friends. Like, I don't know a lot of friends whose parents ever like got back together again after.
So this seems more like what happens when the divorce is starting, because they do separate and come back together, separate, come back together.
Right, that's what I thought too. But it's been a while.
Even with like, in high school and even as adults in relationships, sometimes you're like, I love him. And he comes back for a little bit and then leaves and then you're like, I love him. And you get back together again for a hot second and then break apart. You know what I'm talking about.
I need that as a ringtone.
But I love him.
I just want that to be your text. I want that to be your text tone. I want it to go off every time you text.
Him.
My husband will be like, "What is happening right now?" I'm like, it's an inside joke. It's just what we do all day long.
Oh God, it's true. Just me going, I love him. You know.
It's the inflection, It's the inflection that does it to me. Every time. Oh man.
Oh yeah. Well. So now we're at dinner.
Yes.
Maryjo has a phone call. She could take it at the bar.
At the restaurant?
At the restaurant.
Who's found her at the restaurant?
I don't know. You know, one of those things I always wanted. Like,
I know, right? Me too.
Like,
then stupid cell phones had to come into existence. Yes. Right?
Sir, there's a phone call for you.
Oh,
and then they actually bring it across. I always wanted
with
when
the
they
cable,
brought across.
with the cable.
Yes, on the platter. Yes.
A little rotary phone.
Yes. A white one with gold accents, please. On a silver platter.
Oh my God.
Yes, that is what I've always wanted.
Oh.
Tell me I'm wrong.
No, I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing. I too. I myself as well. I would love to have that, or even get fancier where every table has a phone on it, right? Right? Exactly. Like a little speakeasy where you can just get your call at the table. Yes, please. I would love that.
I loved back in oh God, what's the movie? Audrey Hepburn.
Which one?
Sabrina. Okay. The phone in the car.
Yeah.
Yes, that old timey. It's a rotary phone in the car. Ah.
Yep. Oh man.
You said Audrey Hepburn. You're like, which one? Where? What?
I was literally like, she had a long career, girl. Long career.
Black and white. Well, that would limit it to basically two.
No, she had a good black and white period as well.
Famous one.
Yes. Sorry, we're not gonna get into the details of old Hollywood. You know how I can go on all day about that.
You do love a film.
I love a film so much. I love theater.
Anyway, it's JD. And he's like, honey, don't come to airport. Your front tires are a little low. I'm not gonna be until 12:40. You don't need to come to Hartsfield Janet Jackson Airport.
They need to change it to that.
So my friend has had it on Foursquare, actually changed it or put a pin in there that was Hartsfield Airport and LaToya Jackson Wig Emporium. And like you could check into that back in the days of Foursquare. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, you find out that JD missed her, and he loves her. He says, I love you. And Maryjo responds, me too.
Girl. Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Girl. You were Molly. You in danger, girl.
Well, we're back at the table.
Hi, table. That's all I got.
And Maryjo has a coming to Jesus with Tedrick.
Thank God.
Ted, you keep telling me you've changed and what I could do for you. JD worries about me. And although I appreciate the offer for reconciliation, it's a no. And Ted's like, what? I never was going to do that. This is just pre-wedding jitters.
I didn't kiss you out of other things.
And Maryjo just looks at him and says, Phooey.
Stupid phooey.
And then Maryjo's like, well, what was the big question you had to ask me? Oh, can Claudia and Quint be in the wedding?
That required kissing, apparently.
Yeah, Maryjo's like, yes, we all kind of love you, but you wouldn't be happy with me because you can't give me what I deserve. But there's no law that says you can't sit back and enjoy the view as I go. And she gets up and saunters away. Do-do, do-do-do.
What was that song? What was that song? It was popular a few years ago. Hold on, I can look it up on my phone. It was
Lady in Red.
No, that's not it. It was by this. Oh, I thought it was by somebody more famous than that. It's like, I thought there was a more famous person. So remember the song a few years ago called I Choose Me?
No.
And I choose me, and she loves me more than you'll ever know. And I'm finally see that.
Is this a dance song?
No. I mean, I guess it did get remixed, but it wasn't originally a dance song. I think it was by Tamia, I think it was. It was like an R&B song.
Is she one of the Maori sisters?
No. Tamia, she's a. Let's see here. Oh, this is not an old. This song is older than I realized it was because I got old person brain.
How old is this song? 1970 what?
No, it's not that old, but it's just like I thought of it as being like just from like a couple years ago. The song is from like 2002.
Okay. No, girl, I don't remember the B-side of any album from 2002.
This was not a B-side. This was a very popular song, and well, with black people. Sorry, I'm sorry. Sorry.
It's okay.
I mean, you have all of those black coworkers and friends that love you. So
that's true. I do.
I just assume that you guys are riding in the car to Bojangles maybe at some point, and this song came on.
I hate you so much right now. Oh God.
Did I say something inaccurate?
Did you enjoy this episode? Oh wait. First, did you find yourself in Miss Georgia World?
I gotta flustered you that much. My Miss Georgia World today. I love Julia in that power suit she was wearing. Okay. That was I always I like her suits, but sometimes her suits are like really like hot on her. Yeah. And I thought this one was one of the good power suit weeks.
So I really enjoyed. It should be, Maryjo in the last dress, but a black turtleneck does not look good on, a turtleneck dress is not.
Nope, not on a pale ginger woman.
I really loved Suzanne's blue dress at the very beginning where she's just sitting there.
That was a nice dress.
And this is pre-fat Suzanne. So this is a throwaway episode, dear listeners, because this was a throwaway episode. The beginning, her head is half the size it is later on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This was definitely a throwaway episode. could tell. I mean, even like the subject matter, it didn't make sense for it to be happening now anyway.
Yup.
So, especially this late into season 2.
Well, did you enjoy this episode, Maim?
I thought it was adequate. It wasn't.
Just like Ted.
Right, just like Ted. Well, barely adequate. You know, like it was. I mean, it wasn't a bad episode. I did like their little like girlfriend types of moments inside the office, because they haven't had a lot of like good banter episodes like that in a bit. So that was nice to see. And you know, I do love JD Shackelford. So I mean, I'm always going to be like saying yay, because I just love him. He seems like such a nice man.
He
really does. The fact that he was married to Charlene, that tells me like this guy must actually be a nice person.
Yeah, I found this episode very frustrating. I just
like I said, adequate.
It was okay. Yeah, you're right. It was better than bad. It's good.
Well, I think, but similarly though, right? You already don't like Scott Bakula. You have never liked Ted Shively's character at all.
Okay, I don't like Ted Shively.
No,
but Scott Bakula. I enjoyed Quantum Leap.
Oh, I don't mean him, the actor. I just mean him as Ted Shively. You've always every time there's a Ted Shively episode, you're like, I don't like it.
Yeah, because Ted Shively's
he's just trash.
Well, at least there was that too. There was a child actor, and there wasn't there.
Yeah, these are part of your formula.
God.
Even
Scott
though Quentin
Bakula.
was there for a hot minute. You're like, that's enough. That's enough.
Claudia's okay. Quentin is.
That's enough. I can't take it.
That's enough. That's
children,
enough.
Child actors, get off of my screen.
Children.
Children who need children.
Oh, the luckiest children.
Children
in the world.
Oh, speaking of
we only have 5 jokes, dear listeners.
Speaking of theatrical things, what are your thoughts about Pamela Anderson in Chicago?
Who's she going to be?
She's playing Roxy.
What? Is she not a little old? I
mean, I'm just telling you, like it was on Facebook earlier. They had like the first curtain call that from her debut.
I mean, if she can do it, more power to her. I just feel like she's a little. I think she'd be better as the Big Mama.
Yes, Big Mama Morton.
Morton, thank you.
Yeah,
but
it's just weird. I'm trying to think about like
she's Roxy.
Yeah.
Not the other one. She's Roxy.
She's Roxy. Yeah, she's Roxy.
The young starlet.
She's Roxy.
The one that Renee Zellweger was nearly too old to play.
Yes, she's Roxy.
Okay.
I just didn't even know. I mean, to be honest, like I was more fascinated because I didn't know she could sing. Like
that's the part that fascinates you, not the fact she's how isn't she like in her 60s now?
No, she wouldn't be that old. She was barely in her 20s when we were teenagers.
She's 54.
Okay.
So she is, I guess.
What? My cat's talking to me.
I don't.
You're so ridiculous. Anyway.
I mean, more power to it. Like, again, if she could do it. You know who she could be? Like, why not put her in Cabaret as Elsie, the dead hooker?
I personally, I was kind of like, I mean, like I said, since I don't actually know her singing ability, at first I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. But then I thought to myself, well, man, if she has the chops, maybe she could be in the revival of Sunset Boulevard, because she would be very much aligned with that character's life.
That is,
you know.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I was reading about Sunset Boulevard, and the fact is that anytime it opens with anybody other than Glenn Close, it doesn't do well. So apparently, like, if you don't have Glenn Close, people don't really want to watch it. Although the Canadian Broadway, like whatever in Toronto,
Brooklyn Heights,
Diane Carroll played the character, which I to watch Dominic Devereaux play that character, I would have been, if I had known about that, I would have gotten a ticket to Toronto.
Just wait, one day I'll be playing
Morty Amsterdam from the Van Dyke Show. I'll be Sally. You'll be Morty.
What about Morty? I could be Sally. I look cute in those little clips. Oh God!
What's wrong with that?
I'm more. Oh God! What was the director's name? The show
character.
Yeah. The show they wrote for. Oh God.
I forgot the name of the show too.
Yeah, that's probably why I am. Girl, we prattled on for a while now.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Why don't you tell our dear listeners where they can find you?
Okay. Hello, dear listeners.
Hello.
This is Auntie Maim.
Your favorite relation.
Yes. If you'd like to follow me on social media, you can follow me at auntie.maim. That's MAIM on Instagram and Facebook. You can find me at the Maim Ministry on Twitter. And if you want to come and say hello in real life, I know one day this is actually going to happen. I'm almost certain at this point it's probably going to happen because I'm very detailed. You can find me on Tuesday nights at Lit in Fort Lauderdale for Laughs at Lit. It's a stand-up comedy show that I host. You can find me in Miami at the Villain Theater doing improvised comedy. VillainTheater.com for more information. And on Thursday nights, you can find me in Miami Beach at Kill Your Idol, hosting the Amazing Colossal Karaoke Show, which is a hybrid show of karaoke and cabaret singing. And yeah, that's about it. How about you, Mims?
I'm the Divine Miss Mims, and once every few months you can find me at the Cherokee Casino just gambling. I'm not doing anything else, but I'm gambling. I'm not in drag, and you have no idea what I look like. So just come and find me at one of the tables. Just start running through and scream, Miss Mims, Miss Mims, are you here, Miss Mims? And if I'm there, I won't acknowledge you. Anyway, you can find me on Twitter at Divine Miss Mims. You can find this podcast on Twitter at Baking Sugar Pod. Hey, Maim, we have a Patreon.
What?
You can find it at patreon.com/Mims and Maim.
Oh,
hey, Maim, we have another podcast.
What?
It's called You Slay Me. It's a Murder, She Wrote podcast.
You're killing me.
You can find it at You Slay Me Pod on Twitter. Miss Mims, Miss Mims, are you here?
We have got to get booked at the Cherokee Casino. Let's do it.
I don't know, girl. They have some good acts. Like right now, they've got Kansas.
You got me there, bitch. You got me there. I was like, you got me. It's like, for a split second, I got like a little anticipation inside of me, and then you said that, and I was like, I don't like you.
All right, girl. Do you have anything else to add tonight?
No, for goodness sake, no.
Well, I'll just say good night, babe.
Good night, Maim.
Bye, y'all.